Okay, last tutorial of this little section here, and I zoomed out, and you can see the drawing starting to take shape. You know, there's always that awkward stage of the drawing that, you know, it doesn't look great, it doesn't look bad, it just looks awkward because not everything is finished. And so, I don't know if we're at that awkward stage yet or not, but what am I going to do next? You know, I've got a ways to go here with this grass, big time a ways to go, and I'm just going to have to sit down and do it. But you guys, I think what I filmed for you, you've got the idea of how I would go about doing the grass. Okay, now I've got to do the grass, I'm going to do the trees, and you know, I'm going to finish these trees up over here. And you know, you can see in the photo, if you guys look down, the photo in this section, the trees are catching some light and they're also catching some shadow, and the trees over here are catching a lot more sunlight than these leaves. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to come on in, and everything here on the left side of the tree, trunks and branches, is going to be like a middle tone dark green, because I'm going to keep that like in the shadow. And so again, I'm not going to sit here and make you watch me do these little leaves like this, because you saw me do those leaves. I'm going to approach them the same way. It's just that the leaves over here are going to be a little bit more lighter because the sun is hitting them. Now, the beauty of working light to dark is I can do that, and if I don't like it, well then I'll just make the trees look like that, because you know, I like the way that they look, and that'll work for me on this side, because again, my whole thing with this was creating like a canopy and having this opening down over here. So I definitely want to have like stray leaves, and I have some initial tree trunks that I put in there originally, pressed down really hard on my pencil when I put them in, and they've really left some marks, and I'm going to just have to leave that there. When I show this image digitally on the website, the final image, I can always go in there and just tap it in Photoshop. I can do it in Aperture as well. And so, you know, that's what I'm going to be doing. Tap it with white to get rid of these two lines. I don't even know if you can see them, but I see them. So I'll be doing this, okay, really tedious and just really matching the values. And I'll be putting some leaves over here, and I'll be coming in and putting in more stray branches. You can see down over here what I started to do. I don't see a foundation to this building. I really don't. I see wood going all the way down to the grass. And I'm going to put a foundation of old field stone at this bottom rung of the barn. And you know, you don't want to outline every stone, but what you want to be conscious of when you're drawing the stone is the stone has just got to get smaller as it goes into the background, and bigger stone here in the foreground, so my stone will be wider. And I think that will create like a really nice optical illusion. And then what I'll do is, when I do this barn, I will really press down super hard on the under. And what's beautiful about this is the barn is so old, and it was created with hand tools and not power tools, that I don't have to concern myself with making these lines so perfectly straight. Everything is just a tad crooked, and this barn looks as though it was added on to multiple times. You know, you can see where it was added on to. It was added on to over here. This was a section, and this is a different shingle than the wood kind of in this area. So everything's going to be crooked. It'll really add to the oldness of it, which I like. So what I'll do, how I'll tackle the barn, and I'll film some of this, no doubt about it, is I will first put in the line of the underplane. And once I do that, then I'm going to come in with a downward pencil stroke. And there's big knots on the wood, and I'll come on in and I'll do all those little knots. But that's the process pretty much. It should go fast, even though this is a big area of like real estate that I've got to deal with. Now, the only thing that I don't like right now on this drawing, and I know I don't like it because it's not finished, is I just don't like this line. I really got to figure out, I know how I'm going to do it, I just got to take a leap of faith that it's going to actually look good when it's done. Because sometimes things look, you know, normal on a photo because your eye connects photo with realism. It doesn't necessarily connect drawing with realism if something looks odd. So I've got to just make sure that I make it look not odd, and that would be like pretty good thing for me to do. Okay, so just moseying along. I appreciate you watching all this. Things are starting to get a little hot and heavy with SVA now, and just this semester, the fall semester, I'm going in 4 days a week, and all my classes are running. I still don't know if my illustration class is going to run on Thursday night, but next spring I've made it so I only go into the city 3 days a week, albeit they're going to be the longest days of my life, teaching from almost 9 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock at night. It's still going to be better because it gives me more time to work on the site. I'll only be going in 3 days a week instead of 4. So I'm excited about that. So the good news is that I'll be doing a lot of drawing, and I'll be really on my game. The drawing at the Met class is starting next Thursday, so that's just tutorial after tutorial in terms of me bouncing around to all the students, and just doing lots of drawings right on the run. I go to them while they're drawing at the Met, if they're drawing a statue, and they're like, I can't draw this hand. So I'll just draw the hand in a quick 5 minutes, and then I bounce to the next student. And if you live in the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, or Connecticut, you might want to consider taking one of the classes at SVA. It's a whole different ball game. It's way more interactive with me. My favorite class my favorite classes are the life drawing classes, but I'm beginning to like teaching the illustration class even more because I'm teaching more and more of the marketing thing, and that's what most artists stink at, is marketing. And there's so many talented people out there who just don't know how to market, and I've learned so much about marketing by running this site, starting it, and promoting it, that marketing is one of the things that I focus on the most, and I've gotten really, really good at it. So I've got 5 students registered for that class. Hopefully I get 6 or 7 so it actually runs, and that would be good because I'm thinking about taping myself as I'm teaching that class, audio, not video, and making those audios available for you guys to listen on your iPod. So that's where I'm at. This is going to be the last little tutorial. That's where I'm going with this landscape drawing, and I hope that you're digging it, and I'll speak with you soon.